Welcome to the QIC-EY Now. No opportunity wasted for making moments matter for children and youth. We are exploring the competency Advocate for Children and Youth, and we're starting right now. Advocacy happens when child welfare professionals use their power to act in support of what children and youth in their caseloads want. When they support reaching the young person's goals, greater authentic engagement is the result. But what does this really mean? Let's hear an example from a professional with lived expertise.
When I think about the many ways that supportive adults and professionals can advocate for children and youth, I'm reminded of a time that I was invited into a service plan review for a young person as a supportive adult. I was mentoring this young person, and this was a high stakes meeting that needed to go well. And as the meeting began, the facilitator was mispronouncing this young person's name. And I could just tell that this was really, really upsetting to the young person, as it ought to be. So I waited just a beat or two. I didn't really get a sense of whether or not the young person wanted me to make this correction or not, but I thought it was important enough to speak up. And I asked if I could point something out. And I was granted that opportunity. And I said, look, the name is actually pronounced like this versus like this. They thanked me and went on to pronounce the young person's name correctly. And that really important moment of advocacy shifted the tenor and tone of that meeting. And it was really an important way to advocate in the moment for a young person that likely didn't feel that they had the power to make that important correction. These really high stakes meetings and moments for children and youth require adults and professionals and grown-ups around them to be advocating in every way possible, in every moment possible, in order for those important moments in meetings to be as successful and as productive as possible.
Now that we've heard an example, let's wrap this up with some things you can do to advocate for children and youth right now. Advocating for children and youth can start small yet have a huge impact on your engagement with them. Recognize that advocacy can be about either big or little matters that are important to the children and youth on your caseload. Advocacy for children and youth starts by listening, watching, and understanding what they are saying and are not saying. To be their effective advocate, you need to pay attention to all the details that may be important to them. Effective advocacy relies on flexibility and self-awareness. This means that sometimes you'll have to take a step back to identify ways to adjust what you're doing or how you're doing it to ensure that you fully incorporate a child or youth's preferences into your work. Now is the time to advocate for children and youth and to make moments matter. The QIC-EY is 100% funded by the Administration for Children and Families of the United States Department of Health and Human Services.